That night didn't seem special at first, until the sky suddenly changed. Rain began to fall over Goyang Stadium, and within seconds, the atmosphere shifted from pure excitement into something far more emotional. In the middle of the lights and thousands of fans getting soaked, Jungkook and Kim Taehyung stayed right where they were. No hesitation, no pause. They exchanged a brief look, and continued performing as if the rain had always been part of the plan. And that's when everything changed. Because what happened next didn't feel like just another concert. It felt like a story unfolding in real time. And the craziest part? No one was ready for it. Rain at a concert this big is usually a problem. It raises risks, makes the stage slippery, and turns every move into a potential danger. But that night, none of those rules seemed to apply. The falling rain created a visual effect that no stage production could ever replicate. Lights reflected off every drop, turning the entire stadium into something cinematic. Their hair was soaked. Their clothes clung to their bodies. And every movement they made felt more dramatic, more raw, and somehow more real. No one in the crowd moved. No one left. No one complained. Because deep down, everyone knew they were witnessing something that wouldn't happen twice. And then, without warning, the music started. Hooligan. In an instant, the energy shifted. The beat took over the stadium, and in the middle of the pouring rain, Jungkook and Kim Taehyung began to move. Not just dancing. They became part of the music. Every step was precise. Every movement had intention. And what stood out the most? They never truly moved apart. There was barely any space between them. It felt like the world around them disappeared, leaving just the two of them on that stage. And then came the moment that sent everything out of control. Their hands met. At first, it looked like choreography. Quick, smooth, easy to miss. But then, they didn't let go. Seconds passed, and the grip remained. The crowd started to realize. One scream broke out from one side of the stadium. Then another. And within moments, the entire place exploded. Armies screamed, cried, some even covered their mouths in disbelief. Was it intentional? Was it just part of the performance? Or was it something more? That question spread across the internet before the song even ended. Because that moment felt too real to ignore. But that wasn't all. As the performance continued, more small details started to stand out. Glances that lasted a little too long. Smiles that felt different. The way they moved closer, pulled away, and then found each other again. It felt like a story was being told without words. And as expected, fans began reading between the lines. Online, theories started spreading fast. Some said it was just high-level fan service. Others believed it was something deeper, an emotion that couldn't be hidden anymore. Of course, none of this is confirmed. There are no official statements. No clear answers. But one thing is undeniable. Their chemistry that night felt different. And for many people, that wasn't a coincidence. Because if you look back, the connection between Kim Taehyung and Jungkook has always been unique. Since their trainee days, they've been known to be close. Not just as group members, but as two people who truly understand each other. Taehyung, expressive, unpredictable, full of emotion. Jungkook, calm, focused, steady. Two completely different energies that somehow fit perfectly together. And over the years, fans have watched that bond grow. From small backstage moments, to playful interactions, to powerful on-stage chemistry that always grabs attention. But that night in Goyang felt different, deeper, stronger, harder to explain. As if everything they had built over the years became visible in one single performance. But behind all that emotion, there's something people often forget. The work. Because what looks effortless on stage is the result of endless preparation. Especially in conditions like that. A wet stage isn't just slippery. It's dangerous. One wrong move could lead to serious injury. And yet, they moved with confidence. Every step controlled. Every transition smooth. That's not luck. That's preparation. They trained for this. Practiced choreography under different conditions. Adjusted movements for safety. Even worked on breath control to maintain stable vocals in humid air. And it showed. Their voices stayed strong. Steady. Unaffected. This wasn't just talent. This was discipline. And maybe that's why so many people call them true performers. Not just idols. Not just entertainers. But artists who fully live in the moment on stage. And as expected, the internet exploded. Clips from the performance spread everywhere. Every angle. Every second. Every tiny detail analyzed. Slow motion edits. Zoom-ins on their expressions. Loops of that hand-holding moment. Everyone tried to figure out what really happened. Some fans even said the rain wasn't just weather. It was symbolic. A reflection of something bigger. A journey. A feeling. Or maybe, something not ready to be revealed yet. It might sound dramatic. But when a moment makes millions of people feel the same thing, maybe there's a reason. And it wasn't just the big moments that mattered. It was the small ones. The subtle gestures. The way they looked out for each other. Making sure neither of them slipped. A quick smile in the middle of intense choreography. Simple things. But they felt real. And in an industry where so much is controlled, something real stands out. Because performances can be planned. Moments can be scripted. But a connection like that is hard to fake. And maybe that's what made that night so unforgettable. Not the rain. Not the stage. But what happened between them. As the music faded and the lights dimmed, the atmosphere shifted once again. No more heavy beats. No more intense choreography. Just the sound of rain. And two figures standing in the center of it all. They looked exhausted. Completely soaked. But happy. And as they walked off the stage, there was one detail some fans noticed. They were still close. Still within the same space they held during the performance. And for many, that meant everything. Because that moment wasn't part of the choreography. It wasn't part of the show. It was unscripted. And that's when the questions returned. Was it coincidence? Or something left intentionally unexplained? There's no clear answer. And maybe there doesn't need to be one. Because sometimes, the mystery is what keeps people coming back. What's certain is this. That night left a mark. Not just in the stadium, but in the hearts of everyone who witnessed it. And even now, people are still talking about it, rewatching it, trying to understand it. Because what happened under that rain wasn't something you forget. It was a rare mix of music, emotion, and connection. And maybe, that's why so many believe this wasn't the end of a story, but the beginning of something bigger. Something still unfolding. And when that moment comes, everyone will remember this night. The night it rained. And two stars didn't just perform. They created something unforgettable.